Thorough Nature, alias the Nature Boy. I mean, come on, this is like we got the ghetto Ric Flair in the house right here.
Yeah, limousine riding, champagne drinking. You know what I mean, Rolex diamond wearing. I'm having a hard time keeping these Crocs down. Shout out to Ric Flair. Hopefully, I got that right. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, that's what I'm talking about. In Pennsylvania, man,
The
you know,
trenches.
this is the serious trenches here.
The
Tell me
trenches.
about your upbringing in Pennsylvania. Let's start from there.
Hey, well, Pennsylvania is it's a challenging place to grow up in because they supposed to be like more like slow to everybody else when it's anything but that, because you have so many people coming here for whatever reasons or passing through here, whether it be to be on the run, they got family here or what have you. You're getting, it's like a gumbo pot. You're getting a little bit of flavor from everywhere. You know what I mean? So you grow up and you're being influenced by a lot of things. And Pennsylvania it's a prison industrial state.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a prison industrial state. So, pretty much if you're on the wrong side of the fence, you'll be behind the fence pretty much, majority of your time. But my upbringing here was, it was beautiful because we made the best out of what we had and what we made for ourselves. I'm from the projects. My family's from uptown, but we transitioned, we grew. But upgrading was what I made it, man. I excelled a lot as a kid. So I didn't know, when you ain't got much, when you poor, when you're in poverty, you don't know you poor.
You don't.
You don't have a clue.
You don't have one clue.
You know what I'm saying?
I just thought sugar water was just a thing.
Ketchup sandwiches, you know what I'm saying? You thought that just was on the menu.
Yeah.
Pinto beans and all that. Yeah. But it was challenging.
How was your family? What did you come from a musical background? How was your parents like when you were growing up?
Well, my father, rest his soul, he been gone since I was a little boy.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, my mother and my father, they were they're heavily influenced by music, as well as my step pop. And I got a little bit of, they're old school though. They like their era and before. It was more like my sister, who I stole a lot of my game from when it came to music. She put me on the Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I would transition into the T.I.s and the Jeezys on my own.
Government cheese wasn't feeding us. It was more like food stamps in them 50-cent freezy cups. Easing up memory lane is bringing pain. When I think what I almost did, it brings shame. And I'm the one to blame for everything that happened back then. If mom would've came a second later, I would've shot her on accident. You know. On everything I love. 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 Listen, promise my mom I never let y'all get the best of me. So I'm screaming, fuck the law, ops and jealous bros collectively. All y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know y'all shit. Plus I done been through the motion, all y'all noticed it. Act like y'all know my trouble past and where I'm from. You know my hood a couple pads, my day ones. So tell me what y'all know about the slums or being on the run. Nigga, my mama taught me how to clean a gun. My father taught me never run, and then he passed 9 years.
And so now as you're going, when was it that this musical itch was starting to really agitate you? You were like, wait a minute, there's something inside of me that I gotta express myself musically.
Oh man, it's a funny story though, right? This I think for me, it was watching my uncle cry. He was listening to Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson one time.
Wow. Wow.
And I knew my uncle, even as a kid, I didn't know what he was going through, but I knew that he was going through some type of hard times because, family, they whisper, and kids, we ain't supposed to listen, but we paying attention all the time.
Yeah.
So I remember him sitting there and he had a moment. I'm so used to him being cool all the time. And he just had a moment and he just sat there and I see tears running from this grown man. He's listening to this Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. And then I started listening to, I started paying attention to like what Michael was saying. I'm young. I'm like, what's the significance to this song? So as I'm listening to it, I'm hearing Michael express himself, you know what I'm saying? Or express what he was feeling and what he was seeing in the world. And I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? I want to touch people like that too. You know what I mean? So I think that was like the initial itch, but as I got older and started seeing things and going through a lot of things, I didn't have nothing else to do with it, but start writing poetry.
Right.
So, yeah. So poetry turned to, let me see if I can put this to rhythm. You know what I mean? So that'll be right where it started.
Yeah, that's a great story too. Because I think, it's so funny because when you think back, looking back, coming from the era of the Reaganomic era and the 90s as well. And, I mean, and even before then, Michael Jackson. I mean, this was an artist that touched our lives in so many ways and inspired us in so many ways. And that's funny that you say the song Man in the Mirror, because that was a record that kind of got me emotional. I was like, hey.
Right.
I'm like, this record's kind of deep.
Yeah, he bled on that one. He really bled on that. So he said, I'm starting with me. You know what I mean? Like, he really bled on that one. And I don't know, man, just watching my uncle get emotional on that one. That was one of my first direct experiences with music and watching his healing power. Like, it's a lot of what they call juju in music.
Some good juju.
Good juju.
And speaking of good juju, so now you're saying, okay, I need to connect this with the rhythm.
Right.
I need to let the rhythm hit them. And as you're making this conscious decision, when is the next phase now? Are you starting to create your song? What was your first song? Do you remember it?
I remember my first song. I remember the first beat I wrote it to. I was really, like I said, I used to go and steal my sister's song CDs or tapes, and I used to play them. And I had a thing for certain artists, like for certain reasons. Like I probably had 3 or 4 favorites for 3 or 4 different reasons. I could never like pick one over the other because depending on what the day of the week was, it was him. It might have been him.
Right.
So I had to think about Nas, early on. You know what I mean? And I remember listening to it was uh Street Dreams. And I think I rewrote it to that beat. So I just started rewriting to Nas beats as a kid. And I always thought Nas's style was so complex and how he delivered. So even now, if I listen to my first rap I ever wrote, you would think I was jacking Nas's style. Like, because it just kind of, my man put me up on the jet. Man, it's like the same type of, like, I can remember.
Right.
Yeah, what he say? My man put the plan on the table, dog. I tell you no fable. I was drinking Johnny Label straight to the navel, getting blow, smoking on this indigo, trying to figure why I get that urine in my PO. Like I was too young to even be writing about like some of the stuff I was writing about.
Oh.
But it sounded cool to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was deep. And so now as you're writing this, and we all start, any artist, when you're inspired, you're influenced by whatever artist that is, and as you navigate and go, you start developing your own.
Right.
Nas being someone that was very observant in his environment and what was going around him, did you find yourself now starting to do that?
I've always done that, even, without music. It's my upbringing, my environment, my neighborhood. It was a landscape, and it was for good or bad. You know what I mean? Like, everything ain't struggle. You know what I mean? Like, even the struggle was beautiful. That's why they call it, the beautiful struggle. And I just enjoyed the experience, man. Like, just growing up, like watching my hood, P-Funk. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? It was one thing you could say about it. It was good times, it was bad times, but we were a ghetto community. Like, you know what I mean? It was like it was a movie down there every single day. From the dirty mattresses to the crack sales to the King unit, which would be our drug unit back in the day, coming out, jumping out, chasing people and stuff like that. Only thing we was doing, all right, now who we rooting for him? Is he gonna outrun this cat? Is he gonna outrun it? Is he gonna outrun him or what? Like, it was a movie. You know what I mean?
Italian leather seats in the whip, and it's tinted, got me riding solo. Cause these chickens ain't authentic. If I said it, then I meant it. So it's off you to the grave, y'all. Gotta slow it down, know the law got me on radar. Fresh about that steak, y'all, sitting in this foreign. Got one up in the air, cause this morning took a yawn. Stay pouring Hennessy, I ain't take one shot. Pop a top for the chickens, we done lost on the block. I'm in the drop, head back, blowing smoke to the cloud. Tryna figure why I feel alone, even in the crowd. Lost my brother to the gun, but I know he see me now. He with my dad in heaven, I just hope I made him proud. Switching lanes on that freeway.
Now, all of a sudden, that movie becomes your reality. And you have some situations now where you're facing that fence and you going through stuff legally. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh man. Yeah, where do I start? It's been a lot of that. I started, I think my first time having a run-in with the law, I had to been about 14. And I was always in like gifted classes in school. Like, I was class president just about every year. Like, I had aspirations a lot.
Right.
And so where I'm coming from, you don't really have a lot of influence like that, but you had the people that told you, look, man, don't be like me. Don't do this. Even though I was intrigued with what they had going on, I think they can tell that. I never had the actual plan to go and jump into them shoes and take off running. But this is Pennsylvania. Once you get into that system, you're in that system. And it's going to take you a while to reinvent yourself, I say. And it's going to take some measures depending on who you are and the things you did. See, me, myself, anything I do, I'm going to go all the way with it, and that being one of the other things in life that I got myself into, I went all the way with it.
Right.
To the point where, you do major things, and you get your consequences for them. I even went to trial, represented myself, looking at 12 to 24 years at a trial one time, and I was fortunate enough to win that trial, representing myself. And so after that, it's more so like, all right, you were fortunate enough to get off on this. Now, anything small that comes across the table now, you're getting hit. You know what I mean? You getting rocked because I guess it's a number game. We'll just leave it there. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've been through a hailstorm, and I'm not going to act like a victim because I know a lot of things I put myself through, because that's my line of work. That's the life I was in. That was the choices I decided to partake in. So I can't sit here and play victim.
Right.
Yeah, man. I can't sit here and play victim, at least not fully. But, win some, you lose some. So,
Yeah. Well, you know what? Even though you win some and you lose some, most importantly, the great thing that we hope comes out of it is that you learn, right? So when it's win or learn, it's never win or lose.
right. Right.
And
Right.
being that happened, and you are now translating these experiences in your music, do you find yourself developing to be a more powerful writer?
My writing has become more personal, more passionate, more in depth, more vivid, as I say. You know what I mean? Like when you listening to me, it's vivid. Like if you close your eyes, you're gonna take a ride, and that pain turned into percussion, and I feel as though. And I heard a quote by a philosopher. He said, "For a poet to become his highest self, he has to suffer his greatest losses and face his greatest challenges." I wouldn't be who I'm lyrically capable of being had I not had these experiences and been able to go through these trials, these tribulations. So I'm thankful for them. You know what I mean?
Woke up from a nightmare trying to catch my breath. I can still feel the bullets putting holes in my chest. Grabbed a blunt off the dresser, took a pull from the green. Turn on the news, see my nigga's face on the screen. Not another soldier, I done lost too many. Not another funeral, I done been to plenty. Now we pouring out Henny t-shirts with your face fake. Niggas at your wake, you ain't like in the first place. Shit's crazy, I was talking to your lady. She never got to mention y'all was having a baby. Your mom couldn't take it, had a panic attack. Couldn't deal with the pain, so she started smoking crack. What's worse than that? You probably rolling in the dirt when you see your mom call your best friend for the work. Could you believe the same nigga fucking with your baby mother? And y'all used to be close like brothers? Since middle school days, back when we used to hustle change for J's. When your brother got hit,
Tell me a little bit about the Air Jordan song.
Oh man, Air Jordan, that's balling. That's balling. That's stunting, you know what I'm saying? That's Versace Poppy, you know what I'm saying? Like that's, basically me just inviting you in, letting you know like I'm balling. Air Jordan, dollars falling. Through numbers we scoring. Air Jordan, getting spicy for him a little bit.
And you're making a buzz. Your buzz is growing. Your support from your city is increasing. All these things are happening, and now you're starting to get opportunities. You're opening up for Trina. You're performing with the Black Ink crew. You're doing all these wonderful things. You're attending the BET Awards. Multiple performances. Tell me about that.
Well, it came out of nowhere. I got an email. Listen, invite you to come out to the BET experience, be a part of the festivities, and jump on a couple stages. I jumped straight on it, got out there. It was a beautiful experience. Just being able to be in the industry and move around, and now not only watch these people from afar, TV, radio, internet, whatever, but to be out there and, bump shoulders with a couple of them, and they kind of like made you feel like a peer versus, a person looking in. So it was great. It was a great experience, and I'm not a starstruck type person. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to live with me all my life. So it's not possible for me to be starstruck. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm the main character in this movie here. But I go to say, I was more so feeling a little bit of pressure as I was sitting in the crowd and I was watching everything. And I was thinking, like, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, this ain't the end all be all. I'm more so thinking, like, all right, what's next? What I gotta do now? How do I elevate myself? How do I draw them in more so they can want to go on this experience with me? Music for me, I don't want it to just be a single. I don't want it to be a couple hot songs. I want people to actually have the experience and take this ride with me, go on this journey with me. And that was just the beginning of it for me.
Yeah, that was the beginning. And so my next question was your rhetorical question that you just said. What's next?
Well, got a couple projects lined up. Illuminati 2, the Real Matic tape, that's dropping. I got Versace Linen Dreams, and Versace Linen Dreams is more of a personal project for me because I wrote that from prison. And the term Versace Linen Dreams is basically I would land on prison sheets and I was dreaming of laying on Versace sheets. Like, man, I'm laying in this jail on this cot. And how do I turn these prison sheets into Versace linen? And so I started writing, not with the intent to write that project. That project just became that because that was the theme. That was what I kept envisioning. And I kept saying, man, I'm going to get down there to the mansion. I'm going to get down there and I'm going to, do this and do that. And I always man, you can blame it on Biggie with the shades, Tupac with the Versace. Them cats, man, like they influenced me heavy. So, I got a thing for some nice Versace. But yeah, it's that concept of that album is real deep and real personal to me because, it's gonna be a couple commercial like feel songs on it, but it's more of a from rags to riches type of feel. But the rags is prison rags.
Right. That's interesting. But you're speaking it into existence.
Manifestation at its greatest.
Manifestation, my brother.
At its greatest. Yes.
And how is the scene in Pennsylvania, the hip hop scene there? Do you feel like it's progressed? Do you feel like it's stagnant?
To be honest with you, Pennsylvania brought home the first Grammy ever from hip hop.
Right. Let's not forget.
Pennsylvania brought home the first Grammy. Pennsylvania gave you some of the most memorable artists as far as I think our lane is just struggle music because it's a struggle territory, but we get busy in PA. I mean, what more can I say? I'm trying to be. I don't like being humble, man. We get busy in PA and we make it look good. It is what it is. They know they come through here, they get an idea of a country like setting because that is what is promoted. That's what's marketed. That's what's televised to people. But Pennsylvania, every part of it has a hood. Every part of it got a ghetto. No matter where you go through Pennsylvania, you're gonna find something that's active in Pennsylvania. And I give all these artists credit because they're all finding their wave and collectively making a wave for Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's music scene is bubbling. Like all these cats is nice. I'm not gonna take nothing away from none of them because naturally, when I listen to them, I'm listening to my story. I'm listening to his story. I'm listening to our story. I'm listening to history of Pennsylvania. So how can I not be attracted to it? And when people come through here or when people listen, they relate. And they kind of always give you that surprise look like, okay. They didn't know it was active like that around here.
Right.
Pennsylvania's gonna produce a lot. I guarantee that. Remember I said it, mark my words like my song.
Bitch, I'm ballin', Air Jordan, broads, callin', unimportant, bottles, pouring, throw dollars, they fallin', do numbers, we scoring, Air Jordan, Air Jordan, Air Jordan, Air Jordan, Air Jordan, throw dollars, they fallin', do numbers, we scoring, Air Jordan, Air Jordan. Conversation not important. I fade away like Jordan. Made way for my whole team. Now we out here ballin'. Money in proportions. You used to couldn't afford it. The whole world extorted till my bank account enormous. She in love with my performance. Now she won't stop calling. Hit you on the run, hun. I can't stay till the morning. This lifestyle I'm all in. Switch lanes, not foreign. Bottles be pouring. Doing numbers, I'm scoring. I do this so often. New Orleans to Boston. Got shooters on deck with them Rockets. James Harden. Don't talk it if you fraudin'. No please giving, no bargains. I'm shutting down the market. Go monetize my target. Trap house, my office. My resume is flawless. My movements are cautious. I live life so lawless. No choice but to applaud this. You hating, you nauseous.
So I'm pretty much ready to kick in the door with these artists. Got an R&B artist here, got an R&B artist there. Even was in talks of dealing with a light rock group. I don't really too much listen to it that much, but it sound good what they play, you know, for me. So, you know, I'm pretty in an open mind frame.
I was about that's good. That's good. You're open mind, right?
Yeah, open minded. You know, I want to jump into some neo soul. I want to jump into it all, man. You know, I got a love for music. You know, if I run across me a country artist and it's making sense and it's sounding good, I got a place for him. So, you know, it's not a strictly hip hop label.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thoro Nature, CEO of Royal Black Records, is in the house. And my brother, I want to thank you so much for being on the Mental Margarita Show.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for the conversation. I appreciate it. To all the viewers, thank y'all also for listening. Thank y'all for you know, paying attention to my story.
That's well said. That's well said. We'll be collaborating in the near future too, my brother.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. I keep spitting out my teeth. Look, I'm on 24 hours going right now. I've been up working. You know what I mean? I ain't seen the back of my eyelids yet. I'll probably be up for another maybe 48 more hours because it's a lot to be done. I gotta make sure this experience gets out to y'all in a timely manner, man. I promise y'all that. You give it a listen, y'all gonna feel this. Trust me. Y'all gonna feel this, man. Yeah.
There you have it, guys. Thoro Nature. I'll catch you soon, my brother. Let's shake the world.
Let's get it.
Starstruck, here's a sprinkle of the stardust. Hold your champagne glass and your cigars up. See the guys with mob ties drive the cars up. Bright lights, most nights they buy the bars up. Candy coated Chevy cars on the highway. It's Frankie Baby, it's on and this is my way. Dean Martin at the Sands this Friday. With Sammy Davis, here's a little hint where I stay.